I wonder, could magicules be to blame?
What cules?
Particles of magical energy in the air. If you truly lack any resistance to magical energy, that'd explain the overdose. The herbs and tonics are rife with magicules. What do you say, Aresh? I solved it?
I don't know. I'm not the one whose job it is to know these sorts of things.
True. If I am right, then why are you only showing symptoms now? Magicules are everywhere. You should have gotten sick from eating any number of common foods. So, what does your diet look like?
It's pretty much the same thing every day. Vegetable soup in the morning, veggie sandwich for lunch, and dinner is mostly veggies from the dorm buffet.
How?
I'm so sorry!
Do you really think an apology will fix this?
Miss Miyabi, was that your name? Are you familiar with the wine bottle you broke? Do you know what it was?
I do. It was made by the famous vintner Henri Jaillet, the god of Burgundy winemaking. His greatest masterpiece, of which only 700 bottles were made, the legendary 99 vintage. It's Gros Parentu.
I'm hosting a very influential business guest tonight. Guillemard and I have been friends for 15 years. One of France's greatest wine merchants. That wine bottle you broke was crucial for the business discussion we're to have. To be precise, Guillemard had that wine flown over a month ago just for this meeting. If this deal falls through, I'm looking at a loss of profits in excess of 100 million yen.
You're kidding me!
Morikubo,
Sir!
you and Miss Miyabi can collect your belongings and leave. You will take full responsibility for this.
Wait, he did nothing wrong! I was the one who broke the bottle!
And he was the one who hired you. Therefore, your failure is on his head.
Don't do this. Before you fire Mr. Morikubo, let me try to find another bottle before your friend arrives.
Oh, please! You may be new to this, but if you're a true wine lover, then surely you must know. There is only one god of Burgundy wine, and that is Jaillet. I don't know why it zoomed in. Hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. I just got back from work, you know.
Oh, man. Was it a busy day?
It was. Thing is, since the kids got out of school, you know, it's getting crazy now.
Oh, and in a Friday afternoon. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
Yes, because I was like, yeah, and then they just had the pool open at where I work at.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So yes, there's a lot of kids coming in. So we had a lot today. I was like, "Man, why don't y'all just go downtown or something?"
Right, go do something else. Right?
I think the pool's gonna be open until like August, so it's gonna be a long summer.
Man, well, hopefully you make a lot of money from it.
Don't worry, as long as I keep my head on straight, I'll be fine.
That's right. That's right.
You know, but you having a good evening so far?
I sure am. It's a little busy, but it's finally calmed down, so I'm good to chill.
That's great. Hey, well, shoot. If the small talk is over, I guess we can go ahead and start this thing. So,
all right.
Hey, I like small talk first. I don't want to get into it that fast.
Right.
So, good evening, everybody. This is Phil, host of the Conversation and Podcast, and we are just about at the end of the first week of Pride Month. So, this week blew by fast, didn't it? So, I have a special guest with me here tonight. Introduce yourself. Who's Alex Hanback I'm speaking to this evening?
My name's Alex Hanback, and I'm a voice actor who has, done video games, anime, everything and anything.
Hey, whole circle of life.
That's right.
There you go. Oh, I got that from Mufasa, the Lion King. True. I was actually watching a Disney movie last night. I think I was watching wait, yeah, I was watching The Jungle Book.
Ooh, good movie. I love
Yeah.
that movie.
And maybe an old, but it's still a good classic.
Yeah, I love the old Disney movies. There's something about them. I don't know. I love them.
Yeah. Say the new ones, because I know they're getting ready to do Toy Story 5 in the next 2 weeks. I was like, why do we need a Toy Story 5? We don't need another one.
We barely needed a third one. I don't know what happened with 4 and 5. I was like,
I'm
okay.
like, I was like, if that's the case, then bring on Cars 4 then.
Yeah, exactly. Where's Cars 4?
Yeah, I miss Owen Wilson and Lightning McQueen's voice. Come on.
I want to be in the theater and hear him yell, "Ka-chow!" I'm like, yeah. I'll be
Yes,
standing there
exactly.
screaming.
Look, I watched Cars back when I was a kid. I watched Cars 20 times.
Oh yeah, it was definitely my hyperfixation for a hot minute.
There you go. See, we all got those childhood movies. Oh, you can't go wrong with you can't go wrong with Ratatouille.
Oh, I loved Ratatouille. That was like, I don't know. I started asking my grandma, I'm like, "What recipes do you know? What recipes can you teach me?" And she's like, "Well, not Ratatouille." I was like, "Well, what's it for then?"
There you go. There you go. Well, before we get into it, let's do a little bit of an icebreaker. Now, I know summer's here, but what's one place that you really want to go to, like travel anywhere outside the country?
Oh gosh, I would love to go. I feel like this is kind of a cliche location, but honestly, not Tokyo, but like rural Japan, just like the rolling hills and I don't know, somewhere temperate that's nice during the summer, like maybe northern Japan. I don't know, just something not what I'm used to. Something a little bit chilly, maybe in the fall, and I don't know. I just think it would just be so fun to explore.
Everybody trying to go to Japan these days. I'm trying to go for my
I'm telling
birthday.
you.
It's thing is, and I have so many friends who just went to Japan earlier this year and everything. One of my friends just got engaged in Japan when she was on a
Oh
trip
wow.
with her boyfriend. So they got engaged. So
Well,
congratulations
congrats
to
to
her.
him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interviewing her at the end of this month. I finally get a chance to talk to her. She's been following what I've been doing, and
Oh, good.
she's a cosplayer, and she just did a Pauline outfit. I was like, man, now I want to play Super Mario Odyssey again.
I know. I need to play that again.
This, I know Kate Higgins, who saw. I didn't know that was the same voice actor who did it. What was that? I'm trying to remember her name. In Naruto, pink hair. Um,
Oh, Sakura.
Sakura. That's who it was.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know Kate Higgins sang "Jump Up Superstar."
That's crazy lore. I didn't know that.
Like
Wow.
it took me until 2022 to figure it out.
It took me till just now. That's insane. That's so cool.
So I was like, man, I really need to start paying attention to these things.
Right. I know. Me too. I'm like, dang. I need to be googling things more often. I don't know.
Hey, trust me. I'm a huge Mario nerd. Okay, I just seen the Super Mario Galaxy movie, so and guess what? Last night I just pre-ordered the new Star Fox.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. I pre-ordered it for my birthday. I'm so excited.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. No
I am
worries.
sorry. I was so busy this week. I forgot to say happy birthday before you came
No,
on.
you're good. I about forgot about my birthday. I'm not gonna lie to you. I woke up birthday morning. I was like, what's going on today?
Okay, okay,
But oh,
okay.
it's my birthday.
Yeah. So you pre-ordered Star Fox too?
I sure did. I'm so excited. I've never
Well,
played any Star Fox game, so I'm excited.
I haven't played the Star Fox game since when I was a kid. When we go to my aunt's house in Atlanta, I'm in Georgia, so yeah,
Yeah.
Atlanta. That was like, let's see, I think I was like 10 years old, and then they just
Wow.
they donated the Nintendo 64 to Goodwill.
Hmm.
They could have given that to me, but it's gone now.
How rude.
But look on the bright side, at least I get to play the new Star Fox that's coming in. So
Oh yeah.
I'll
I'm
take
excited.
whatever win I can get.
Oh, absolutely. I'll take if they want to remake anything. Maybe that sounds horrible to some people. I will absolutely consume
Okay, okay. But yes, Japan is definitely on our bucket list. So I'm trying to
it.
save as
Oh
much
yeah.
money as possible. It's a little rough right now, but I'm making it work somehow.
Oh yeah. We love to hear that.
Exactly. Just keep being productive, keep working. Everything's gonna be fine.
That's right.
Mhm. So, well, now that the ice is broken, let's get into the main event here. So, I have over 20 questions, but to make this smooth sailing and going, there's also going to be some 2 to 3 part questions to make it go smoother.
Ooh, okay, you
Just
got
to
it.
keep it simple. So, let's start with the old, the old saying. So, the introductions. So, identity and pride. So now, for people just discovering you, who is Alex Hanback beyond the voice roles and conventions?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I identify as a non-binary gay man. That's a little bit contradictory, but I don't know. I feel comfortable in my masculinity, but also I like exploring the feminine side of my identity. And then beyond that, I've always had like a thirst for exploration. I love going out and learning new things, knowing new people, seeing new locations. Oh gosh, I love to travel. I love a good vacation. I'll take any excuse to yap to somebody about their life story. Oh man, and my real passion is video games as well. Like I may do anime here and there, but video games is what really drove me into voice acting. So I'd say I don't know. I think Alex Hanback, if we're talking in a third person, Alex Hanback is definitely a video games lover.
There you go. There you go. Hey, nothing wrong with game. Listen, like I said, I got all the games here. I got Nintendo Switch too.
Ooh,
So, and Xbox.
right
They
on.
just announced what was it just because there's a friend of mine. He works at GameStop, and he was the one who helped me get the Star Fox game.
Yeah.
Like they said, they're making another Xbox, which is like $1,200.
Oh,
And
oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh, that's
what
rent.
is it? Why is it $1,200? That's highway robbery.
Right. I'm like, I better be able to play everything on there. I better be able to plug in a Nintendo game and it start working. I don't know. Otherwise, I don't know if it's worth $1,200.
And then he was saying, you might want to consider going with the PlayStation 6 that's coming out. I was like, but I'm an
That's true.
Xbox person. I don't want to go to Sony. But she kept saying like Microsoft is like being jerks or something, like they bought out companies or I don't know. I need to do more research on it, but it may be the truth. So I might need to go look it up.
I don't know. It's all dependent on the features. Depending on the features, I don't know. I'll be able to investigate.
Right, right. But yeah, but I'm going back to you. Yeah, listen, and all you VAs over there in Texas, California, y'all got a life outside voiceover.
Oh yeah,
That's what some fans don't understand when they go to conventions. Like, sorry it took me long to understand that. So, but I'm here now.
that's right.
So I can like, just pick your brains for a second. Just get it straight. But yeah, like yeah, sometimes you have to ask yourself, with VAs, like, when was the last time we just went out for pizza or something?
Yeah,
Just simple.
I love a good Chili's triple dipper and yap. I love that. Sometimes you
Mm,
just got to go out with your friends and yap about things that aren't your career because I feel like surrounding yourself too much with your career can drive you insane.
I can agree with that. And I know some of you guys, I like sometimes because I be telling you, I bet they do get tired about talking their career all the time. You know, just a thought that I was thinking. They must get tired of it.
Sometimes, but I think I remind myself too a lot that if I ever start to get tired of it, I remember back when I wasn't as successful as I am now, and I think how how much of a treat it is to be able to surround myself with my career. So I don't know. I try to ground myself, but yeah, I definitely get to feeling that way sometimes.
Yeah, of course. Listen, it's okay. Like, listen, and I told this to Cayman Casey once when, because I think you saw that he just had a new child in his life
Yeah,
now. So I was telling him, it's nice to have you back in the studio, man, because he was coming back to work and everything. So I told him it's nice to have you back in the studio, but also don't forget to live and be with family first, too.
that's right. Family comes first. That's my number one rule.
So, so he thanked me for that comment because listen, I'm one of the ones who like I'm concerned for you guys' well-being. I want to watch my shows, but I'm also concerned for you guys' well-being as well.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So yeah, it's okay. Keep making the magic happen. Don't stop. Keep
Right.
making it happen. Just keep making the magic happen.
Take breaks, but not too much of a break. But,
Yes.
you know.
There you go. Oh, next one. This one's about Pride Month. Okay. Now, during Pride Month, what does authenticity mean to you as a performer?
Oh gosh, I think authenticity is really connecting your personal experiences to that of what you're portraying. Whether that be becoming a conduit for the character, or understanding what your character is going through in order to give them the voice that they deserve and the voice that the audience that's watching deserves. I think that as long as you make that real connection, I think that's where that lies. I think that's also what lends performances, I don't know, being good. Like if you're not connecting, I understand the audience can't, they just won't connect with that. So I don't know. I think they can tell. They can definitely tell if you're not connecting with a performance, with a character, their story, even the voice. If you're not connected to the voice you're doing, I feel like somebody worth their sense in entertainment can absolutely tell. So I think being authentic means connecting in general to what you're doing.
Hmm. Yeah, of course. And and I say this to everyone because I've been interviewing and like a lot of people, like it doesn't matter what you are as long as the performance is good. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with what's going on lately because there's been a lot of stuff with fan bases and the fan base is intoxicating. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
They got all kinds of opinions to say about specific people who voice these characters, and they're just like, like these characters don't even exist. If
Yeah.
you heard the situation, and I think you saw the situation with Gachi Agata, I did a video about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was with anime news guy. His name is Brandon. We're close friends. He does a lot of
Yeah.
anime. I think you know him, anime news guy. He does a lot of
I believe so.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff. Yeah, we became close friends last year in 2025. So he was saying like, people were how saying like, KO Ronda was getting backlash on Twitter, saying like, this cosplayer who did Jabber and Gacha Akita are saying this was like racially motivated, but that wasn't what was really going on.
Right.
And you just got other people like I'll give you a few other examples. You got other people attacking like people like AJ Beckles and Zena Robinson, especially
Mm-hmm.
when they played white characters in My Hero Academia. By the way, this is a new shirt that they just dropped this week
I
after
love
seeing on
that.
Instagram. I had to get it, so here's what I'm spending my money on, as long as it makes sense. They were attacking Zeno Robinson, saying he wasn't black enough to do Jabber. And then
Right.
they were attacking him because he was playing Hawks in My Hero Academia, which was a white character. AJ
Yeah.
Beckles was playing Okaran and Don, and they went after him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to put the pieces together saying, y'all, these characters are not real.
Right.
Like, and plus, they're not even white because most of these characters you see are mostly Japanese characters.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with this situation, but I feel like I have a bit of an improv background, so I feel like I tend to think of things like punching up or punching down. Like if someone who is black does a voice for for a character that is white, I think that's okay because in a way that's punching up, rather than if a white person were to take a voice for a character, were to do a voice for a character that was black or a minority, then that'd be punching down because you're potentially taking that role away from someone else who is extremely talented, who has that lived experience.
Yeah, and lately there's a lot of people from different backgrounds coming overseas from different countries
Right.
trying to get into this industry because a lot of countries don't have a lot of studios like this, like Japan does,
Yeah.
and we do, and people like Sean Gann and Caitlin Glass, they're giving you guys opportunities, and I really like that they're
Oh
being
yeah.
more diverse because the way the state of our world is right now, world's on fire. We need to tell more stories like this to fight back.
Absolutely, and I think that ties back into also authenticity. Like, I think if um, I think if a white person tried to connect with the story of a black character, I feel like you could tell. You'd be able to tell that that wasn't, as authentic as if it was a black person doing a black character's voice because they have that experience. And that's what I also, one other thing I'll throw in is I think that's also why I enjoy talking with and being in Sean Gann's presence is because I know personally that he lives so much for equity in casting. And I have so many friends that have told me, like, yes, he was the first person to believe in me, and they're minorities. And it's crazy to me because seeing their talent, seeing the amount of connection they have with their characters is insane, because then I see other directors, not just from Crunchyroll, just in general, other directors maybe taking a chance on people who not talented, but people who you can clearly tell aren't connecting with the stories as well. I think they're very open to taking them rather than what may be taking the safe route, so to speak, rather
Right.
than opting to genuinely portray a character and picking who's talented, you know?
Yeah. And I will also say this, like the way things are, the world has changed so much.
Oh, yeah.
And we need to have, because back in the day, you didn't have much of this, like, diversity back in the day with the early 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. 2000 was coming up a little bit. The technology was okay,
Yeah, yeah.
but it was still in like the pre-stages of the modern world today.
Hmm.
And we have to have more people because most of the directors that you see in Los Angeles, all the so they probably don't have everything they need to make sure this story is set in stone for fans
Right.
to enjoy. So they have to get other people's cultures. Like,
Yeah.
shoot, Sean Gann is directing Apothecary Diaries, and I think he's done enough research. I haven't spoken to him yet, but I might be
Hmm.
speaking to him soon later this year in the fall because they're about to do a movie now for
Oh,
Apothecary
yeah.
Diaries. And so he's trying to make sure, he's done the research and read all about the Apothecary Diaries. So it makes sense to
Hmm.
have an all Asian cast to be in the show. It just
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Yeah, because again, I love bringing it up, but authenticity. It's they are able to connect with the stories that they're telling, and I think the audience. I think that's why the show and soon to be movie are so big, is because people can tell, consumers can see that these people are connecting to the stories that they're telling, and that's really what makes a performance.
And like I said before, we need more people like to say, listen, I don't care what it is, as long as the story's perfect, I will sit down and enjoy it.
That's right.
And
Exactly.
so, and the lately, with the years coming up, we need those more stories like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so, whew, sorry I preached there for a second.
You're good. You're good.
I like to get in one of my venting sessions.
It's good. It's good conversation. I appreciate
No problem.
it.
All right. Next up is this is going to be a two-part question. Okay.
Okay.
So, how did you first get into voice acting, and what made you stay in the industry? Part two. Do you feel your work has shaped how you understand identity or self-expression?
Ooh, these are good questions. Oh man. So for the first question, um, how I got into voice acting was I've always been not a theater kid. I'm not, big on musicals or anything, but I've always had like this inner drive to entertain. And I don't know, I don't think I've always understood that. Like when I was a kid, I was always cracking jokes. I was trying to make people laugh. I was always acutely aware of people's reactions to what I was doing. And I don't know if they were enjoying themselves, and that's what made me enjoy myself. And so that kind of drove me to the arts. And I originally started going to college after I graduated high school. Um, Originally started going to college for drawing and sculpture, and because I love doing art. And I realized very quickly that when things are free form, they're so much fun for me, in terms of structured art. But then when things are graded, and not just on technique but quality, it just, I don't know, it seems very subjective, and I didn't enjoy it anymore. Once people were telling me what to do with my art, that's when it took the joy away. And so I stopped. I stopped taking classes, and I just kind of sat on my butt for, gosh, like a couple years. I had no yeah, I had no vision of what I wanted to do. And finally, I sat down with my parents and spoke with them, asking them, like, what do you guys think I should do? And it just came out that I just really had a drive for entertaining people. And my dad always wanted to be a voice actor growing up. And I think he and my mom suggested it and kind of pushed it my way. And I took it and was like, yeah, that could be a thing, because I learned how to do some cool things with my voice, what I think are some cool things with my voice in high school. And people would always tell me, like, when I'm playing games or stuff like that, like, oh, you got a cool voice, you should be a voice actor. And of course, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, you guys hear one deep voice and everybody's going crazy. I'm like, yeah, it takes talent to be a voice actor, not just a cool voice. So I took it with a grain of salt. But then when my parents set me down and suggested it to me, I was like, maybe I should take a chance on this. And next thing you know, I am at my first voice actor meetup here in Texas, and I'm really nervous, but I went in calling myself a voice actor. I hadn't done anything yet, but I went in calling myself a voice actor, and I met the kindest people I have ever met. It was such a fortunate thing for me that I took that chance, because if I hadn't taken that chance that day, I probably would still be sitting on my butt in my bedroom playing games and just not having any sort of direction in life. And I started taking classes, doing that, and the relationships I made really shaped what I wanted to do. And that turned out to be anime for the moment. And gosh, it's so cool to be doing that. And and how it's formed, or how it, what was the second question? It was how it has formed how I see identity.
Yeah, how do you feel your work has shaped how you understand identity or self-expression?
Gotcha. Oh man, I think I've realized that prior to voice acting and really my time in middle school and high school, I put a lot of stake in how I sounded, how my voice was, and stuff like that, which may seem silly, but in especially in middle school, you're going through puberty and stuff like that. Your voice is changing, and people made comments on, like, "Oh, your voice is so deep all of a sudden," blah blah blah, and it made me kind of self conscious in a way, and it kind of made me pull back a little bit from coming out of my shell in early high school. And it wasn't until I went really full fledged into voice acting about a year and a half ago, a year and a half ago. Wow. That I started realizing it's not, the sound of my voice necessarily, or what I perceive the value is of my voice. It's what I say. It's how I say it. And I think that has really put me in a position to where I can portray myself to others authentically and genuinely, because now I'm not putting so much stake in being self-aware, if that makes sense, or like not
It
self-aware, but
does.
self-conscious. Being self-conscious about the way I sound. I can proudly, being non-binary, I think, connects to that, because sometimes I feel in touch with more of my feminine side, and I get kind of self-conscious about how deep my voice is and stuff like that. And meeting other people in the industry who are non-binary, who sound more feminine and have the same issue with when they feel more masculine, and how they're portrayed, how they're portraying themselves to other people through their voice. I think understanding that has made me more fearless, and through being fearless with that has just made me understand myself with characters. Because when I see characters, I'm able to just not care about what I'm doing in the booth or what I'm doing with my voice, how my voice sounds, as long as I'm reflecting what I know the character should be reflecting, if that makes any sense at all.
Does. And I will say this, throughout, this lifetime for all of us, whatever kind of career we're doing, I will say I was bullied when I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
It's I still keep it because it just makes me who I am. Got punched in the face twice on Fridays. So, but but I didn't let the scars take over my life because I stay focused on what I needed to do. And
Absolutely.
sometimes we just find ourselves in a crossroads, and like, we get to like once we're done with all throughout our school years and people saying, "Oh, you don't belong in this space, you can't do this, can't do that." Well, trust me, I was with the wrong people in middle school. I spent some of my middle school years purchasing basketball shoes from like Foot Locker, trying to like
Yeah.
get some LeBron James and KDs. But after a while, I decided to go back how it all started for me and just go back to the nerd side in high school. Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
Still was bullied in high school, but I still did what I had to do. And sometimes as when you're doing like voice acting or you're doing any other career or you're doing, we find ourselves at the time where it's like, what's the point of all this? And that's really
Yeah.
a really deep, powerful question to ask
Oh
ourselves.
yeah. I think so. It's one that I asked myself right before I got into voice acting. It was just like, what am I here for? Who am I here to impress? It's like nobody but myself. I think my dad always told me growing up that at the end of the day, you have to face yourself. And if you're not proud of who you are, then what did you live for? And I don't know. That was the number one thing that drove me in the first few months of voice acting was I want to make myself proud, and I want to make as much as I want to make my family proud. I don't know, but feeling that satisfaction of success because I wanted it, because I was looking for it, rather than what do other people want of me? What do other people see for me? What do I see for myself? That's what I wanted to know. And that's what I wanted to connect with rather than being there for the expectations of others. And I think that has really improved my quality of life too. It's kind of become my mantra is this for me? Like, am I doing this for me or am I doing this for someone else?
Yeah, that's true. There's no saying too, take care of yourself for you to take care of others.
Oh, yeah.
I've said this to a lot of people, like, because I know, whatever you're doing, even if you guys are being at conventions and stuff, some of you guys calling sick. We can't make it to all these events that you're going to. But,
Yeah.
but I also be saying in the conversation, like, take care of yourself before you take care of others. There's a lot, listen, things happen. There's a lot in life that we have to put up with,
Mm.
last night, oh, my mom was tired from work. I had to make sure she was okay.
Yeah.
So I just, I was there for make sure, hey, is there anything I need to do? Do you want me to go out and get you something? It's it's those kind of moments that make you feel like I want to make sure that, I'm doing what I need to do before I
Hmm.
can take care of others. I want to make sure
Exactly.
I'm good. If I'm not good, then I can't make sure she's okay.
Exactly. And it's it's all just it's cyclical because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of those around you, and if you can't take care of those around you, your quality of life plummets.
Really bad. And
Oh yeah.
so, I've been thing is I also work with my mom too.
Hmm.
She told me to stop doing DoorDash because it's getting dangerous out there, all those weirdos.
Oh yeah.
So she told me to come work for her. So I've been a huge help for her since 2022.
Good. I'm so glad. How are you liking that?
It's great so far. I wouldn't change anything. I know I'm still looking for jobs after I got my degrees and everything. But if I can still help her out a lot at the center, then I'm gonna do it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And that goes with family is everything. That's what I think.
Exactly. It's kind of hard to find jobs right now because of the whole climate and everything. But for now, I'm just doing what I can right now in my
Oh yeah.
home.
And that's all you can do.
hmm All that other stuff, we'll just figure it out later.
That's right.
Yeah. Sorry about that turned sentimental. I know it's a sensitive
You're
kind of
good.
topic, but it's stuff we do need to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Mm. So, we're out of that session. We're in the next session, the craft of voice acting. Now, oh, how do you approach building a character from scratch in the booth?
Oh gosh. Like if oh man. So we're talking about like I receive an audition with no pictures or
Mm.
minimal explanation.
Okay. Okay.
I probably gosh, I well first I try to ground myself in what are my motives? I read the lines and I try to build a story around each one. And first of all, I read the whole thing. That's the most important part. Please read your auditions. Um, but I read it all the way through, and I determine if these lines are all separate, like separate scenes, or B, if they're connected. Because if they're connected, then that's going to be treated differently if they're separate, obviously. But then if they're separate, that's a little bit more fun to me because I get to picture the character in different scenarios, how they're reacting. I get to form a scene in my head and the imagery in my head of, okay, this is what they're doing here. Like they're angry, now they're sad, now they're excited. And, and a monologue or, lines that are all taking place in the same scenario they're different, and I don't find them less fun, but I find it a little bit more constricting. Maybe that says something I need to be working on, but
Right.
I think that is a little bit less freeing for me because it's, I'm seeing a smaller snapshot of this character versus a larger snapshot. And so once I have those in mind, I love to test voices. I am someone who enjoys doing cool voices as much as acting. And so I'll sit there and I'll say the line in different voices. I'll be like, "Oh, hello, my name is so and so." "Oh, hello, my name is so and so." I'll try and see how I can tell their story with just the voice. And then once I've got what I believe is the voice for them, I'll go into, okay, what is happening around me? What happened to me here? What happened before this? What happened after? And building that really complete picture informs me so much for just an audition. And it depends. I'll be the first to tell you it depends on what it is, on what it's for. I'll do the same thing for commercials, but just not nearly in depth, I guess. But and that's what's working for me right now. In the future, it could change. But yeah, I think what I truly love in forming a character is the character work. Digging into who they are, what they're doing, and what they are to other people. And that just ties back into reading the lines. Read the lines 100 different ways, 1,000 different ways, however many it takes you to understand what's happening to them, and really create that picture for yourself. And from there, I feel like it'll come to you naturally.
Right. And I like that you said that because this is the same thing I was saying, some of you guys, well, one, you guys have deadlines.
Oh yeah,
So you guys don't have enough time to research or do the lines or whatever you're doing. It's like sometimes you just have to, we're just gonna have to wing it. There's really nothing else. We'll just see what we can do and
right.
just go with it. And plus it's only like one time, so you don't get any second tries at all. So you really got to make sure you're prepared for what's about to come next.
That's right. I feel like a number one tool for any actor, not just voice actors, is building your instincts. So that way, even if you only do get one try, believing in what you're doing enough to know that that was your best.
Yeah, just do the best you can. Listen, I tell myself every day, listen, I'm just going to do the best I can right now. It may not be exactly what people are looking for or what I'm looking for, but
Hmm.
at least it's something better than nothing.
Exactly. And I'm a big believer of if it's meant for you, it'll find you. And that just goes hand in hand with as long as you're doing what you personally believe is your best work with what you're given, then if it's meant for you, it'll find you.
Yeah. And this stuff takes time. So no rush.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
rush. Do not
So
rush
many
at
people
all.
want to, exactly. So many people want to accomplish so much in such a short amount of time. And if that's meant for you, that will find you. But if it's not, don't fret. Don't sweat it. It'll find you eventually.
Sh- Shoot, I have to say, because when I started this whole thing, and I didn't think I would get to almost like shoot, I'm close to like 100 episodes right now.
Wow.
And this
Congratulations.
and that's because I had to, well, shoot, I knew this wasn't going to be perfect overnight. I have to put in the work first.
Yeah,
Like, shoot,
absolutely.
like I was so desperate to like get as many done in like 1 year, but I realized it's going to take time to get this stuff to where it needs to be. So I just sat back and just enjoy the ride for now.
Exactly. You got to push the wagon uphill in order to hop in and have a fun ride down.
Exactly. That's a good saying. I never heard that before.
Thank you. I literally just made it up. So
Well, it works. It does work.
thank you. I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, I need that on a pillow.
Well, shoot. Ooh, shoot. Go find a store and they might be able to embroider that or something.
You know, I'm gonna go to Michael's tomorrow and be like, "Hey, can you put this on a pillow?"
There you go. You got a Michael's right down the street.
Yeah, absolutely. We used to have a
shit.
Joanne's. Rest in peace, Joanne's.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get the Michaels, but I'm trying to be responsible with my money. Okay,
That's right. That's right.
I just pay off my Capital One card. Okay, I'm trying to keep track of that. And I
We
just
love
did a
that.
five, and I
Congrats
just
on
did
paying
a
that off.
yes, and I just did a $5 pre-order for Star Fox. So the posters are coming too. I just got the Lego Batman game 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, how you liking that?
It's great so far. I just completed the game already. Now I have to go back
Good.
and complete the side missions and
Oh
everything.
yeah.
Just get the
Go finish the story,
100%.
and then you can leisurely go through and do 100%.
Yeah, I'm a Batman fan, but I was like, hey, look, I managed to complete the whole Arkham series 100%, and I got all the Riddler trophies, so I can
Oh
do this one.
wow.
I'm a
Oh yeah.
Batman person, and plus, I have two posters over there in the corner. You can't see it because it's dark,
Hmm.
so. But the reason why I turn it dark here because if I turn the lights on, it's gonna be like shining bright, and I don't like that at all.
You'd be glowing too much. Like,
Yes, I don't need that. So
that's right.
I'm using this light in front of me. By the way, my mom got me this for Christmas last year.
Let's go, mom.
So she said I want to help. She's trying to help me out with my career here. So and like mom should.
Absolutely.
So but listen, if your mom gets you a present, Alex, make sure you use it, okay?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I 100% do.
There you go. Now, next question. Do you feel voice acting allows you to express parts of yourself you don't usually show?
Yes, absolutely. I think, rather, I know there's so many times where I won't have immediate access to an outlet for maybe how I'm feeling that day, and um, I'll get sent to an audition, and I'll find myself working through certain emotions or life situations just in my head as I'm reading for this audition, and yeah, it feeds into the characters I voice, and through that, I think absolutely I'll connect with parts of myself otherwise I wouldn't have. Um, yeah, I think connecting with personal experience and maybe personal experiences that I haven't touched on mentally in a while, connecting with those, that's when I really feel accomplished in voice acting, and that's what voice acting lends to me, because I'm able to imagine these scenarios in different lights, and that I've worked through some crazy things that I've been through voice acting and voicing different characters, and it may not always be obvious, but I really really appreciate that part of voice acting, and yeah, I think. Gender identity is one of those things where a lot of people find voice acting to be a release, and personally, that has been the case for myself as well. I so many times I will voice a character who may not be what seem in terms of masculine or feminine, pardon, and I don't know. I think that's healing for younger me down here.
It's working. Yeah, and listen, you want to be able, and that's what I like too. Listen, sometimes when you're going through your day-to-day life and you're just around people like in a store or a restaurant, I can't express myself fully, because other people might perceive you in a bad way. And trust me,
Oh yeah.
I've seen videos like that on Instagram. And and it's like when I do stuff like, like at home, listen, Alex, I am a huge introvert, but I'm trying my best to get back out there and talk to more people. I want to be like in a space where I can finally be myself with no restrictions, such as,
Yeah.
being at Crunchyroll and doing your things it takes for characters.
Oh yeah. I think I absolutely identified as more of an introvert too before I started voice acting, and then I found the right people to surround myself with. I was fortunate enough to meet those people in classes, and through doing improv and things like that, where I realized, not everybody's out here to judge me, and that was what had driven me being an introvert for so long, or me identifying as an introvert for so long, and now I absolutely identify as an extrovert. I will not shut up.
Well, you just had to learn and grow. It's part of growing up. You had to learn and grow for it first before you turn into something different, And I'm trying, like
100%.
sometimes after the day's over, I just want you left alone. But I am doing my best to get back out there and meet people, even if it has to be online digitally or just in person, you
Absolutely. I
know.
think everybody's got a social battery, and even I get home and I'm like, all right, let me be alone for a little bit.
hmm Yeah, usually when I get home, I just go on my Xbox or Nintendo Switch. Sometimes I play Mario Kart until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, and you know what? That recharges it.
It does. It helps. Like I know, like probably once this is all, I'm going to play more Mario Kart or 2. Dude,
Absolutely, you should. I support that.
yeah, I just got another suit for Wall. I just got another suit for Waluigi and Peach 2 nights ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, and I was like, wait, what's this costume? I ain't seen
I
this
still
one
haven't
before.
unlocked everything.
Oh boy, you got the game too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of costumes you need to unlock, and even if you completed the whole set, there's still some secret costumes in there.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Oh, man. Now I'm going to be lost tonight. I'm
Because
going to
when I
lose
because
my
when I did
plan.
that for Peach, I managed to get the farmer outfit.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was like, wait, I thought that was it.
There's more?
Yes, there's more. Well, I guess if they don't put in more, then it would lose all of its, majestic energy in the air.
They got to keep you coming back.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're both doing our best to keep making those connections with people, whether it's online or out there in person.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just keep doing it.
100%.
Um, let's see. Now, what's the hardest part about switching between different characters or tones in one session?
Oh, man. I think switching between like characters in a regular sense, I don't find so difficult. I think switching between characters that have similar voice prints, I find difficult because as much as I build characters in where I believe they are, who they are, I also build characters in my head through what I think their voice sounds like. So if I have two characters that sound very similar or are similar enough in my head, it will drive me nuts. It will absolutely give me so much more to sit there and think about because I'll struggle. I'll be like, oh, was that too much? Was that too close to the other character? Or yeah, I don't know if I'm veering off into this character's territory. So I'll have to sit there and again ground myself in, okay, what are the motivations for my character? What am I surrounding myself with? What's my setting? What happened to me? What am I going to do? Rather than the voice. So I think, yes, it can be very difficult, but it can also be a fun challenge.
hmm Yeah, you have so many characters you got to think back, and you're probably thinking of characters from the other shows too, because it's like they sound the same. It gets
Oh, yeah.
confusing. Like I guarantee you, like Chris Sabat, who's been voicing characters for years now since the '90s,
Oh, yeah.
like Vegeta and Piccolo. I was like, they sound the same, but I don't know how he does it by making this different from each other. Like that's a neat trick. So.
Man, I think it was Patrick Warburg. Is that his name?
Patrick Wilberg?
Warburton. Patrick
Yeah,
Warburton.
yeah, Patrick
Sorry,
Warburton.
Patrick, if you're out there, I didn't mean it. Um, I think he is a very good example of, um, and not in a negative way, but having one voice and being great at it. Because no matter who he's portraying, I don't think I've ever heard him in anything and gone, oh, that's Kronk instead of the character he's actually playing. Oh, that's the guy in the wheelchair from Family Guy, rather
Oh
than who
yeah.
he's actually portraying. And I think that says so much just about his acting ability. And I think if anybody, and that ties into a whole other thing about how acting is the core of voice acting, not just voices, but I don't know. I'd love to pick his brain about how he identifies characters.
Well, shoot. Hey, what's stopping you? Actually, yeah, you don't know. The only thing that's stopping you is not knowing where he's going to be next. So
Yeah.
that's the
If I
only
find him,
thing.
I'll let you know.
There you go. But yeah, so yeah, you have those people who don't like voices. Shoot, even Steve Bloom, and I just saw a post for him a second ago. Wait, no, that was when I was watching regular show Terrors of the Park just now in season
Oh,
7. Listen, I've been watching some of the old cartoons since they're doing reboots. I've been watching regular show. I'm almost done with that. I'm about to be at season 8 when they're in outer space.
oh man.
So
I
I
think
was
I've only ever
like,
seen season one, so you're ahead of me.
you only see season 1,
I
Alex.
think
What you
so.
doing?
Not watching it apparently.
You gotta check it out. You missing out.
You got
But
it.
yes,
That'll be my homework.
that show is still amazing to this day, and I still watch it over and over again.
It was really funny with what I did see.
hmm So, because there was a lot of people in there. Steve Bloom was in that show a couple of times. You know, who else? Laura Bailey, Roger Craig Smith was everywhere.
Oh
Shoot. Roger Craig, why are you everywhere, man? Stick to Sonic.
man. Take a
Stick to
break.
being yeah, stick to being Sonic and Captain America. He was actually in Florida back in March. I could not catch him because I didn't have the money for that, but I'm being more prepared now. So
Absolutely.
so
Gotta
listen,
be more.
these things happen, I make mistakes, okay? You know, I just didn't think he was gonna come that way so soon, but I gotta do better with playing stuff out. But yes, Laura Bay was in there, Travis Willingham. Shoot, there was a lot of special guests in there that I just didn't catch when I was a kid. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, wait, was
You're like,
that
hey, who is
Laura
that?
Bailey? Wait, was that Laura Bailey just now? Wait, she was in this episode.
And I was scrolling through the credits, like I know they're in here somewhere.
Listen, I'm just more aware of my surroundings when I watch these shows.
That's right. Man,
So,
that's been one thing about voice acting I've enjoyed a little bit is being able to recognize not just my friends but colleagues being like, oh, that's them. They're in this. I'll message them and be like, man, I didn't know you were in this. This is crazy. It's such a fun thing to do.
yeah, listen, back then when I was in high school, I was mostly in it for the entertainment, just watching you guys. But
Oh yeah,
listen, I'm 25 years old now. I'm about to be 26. So now I'm at the point where I was like, now I'm just paying attention for context clues and just being more aware of my
yeah.
surroundings. I mean, listen, I like knowing things. I like being analytical. Is that a crime?
Absolutely not. I also enjoy being analytical.
So it's just
This is a safe space for you.
yes, it is. So yes, yeah. So you guys, with you doing all these different voices, sometimes you have to tell, or maybe just do one voice entirely. Because I know some people who voice so many characters, and like again, Chris Sabat, for example. By the way, I am wearing All Might on the back of this shirt. It's the Armored All Might on the back. They did this Iron Village and Hot Topic collaboration. So when
Oh
I saw
wow.
this on Instagram, I was like, I need to go to my local store and see if I can
He
get this
said, I'll be
shirt.
there.
It's not in there. So I had to do the one thing I don't like doing. I had to order it offline and get it shipped to that store.
Oh,
The
well, and you
pain.
know what? But you got it.
I got him, I got Deku and Bakugo.
Ooh,
This
good
one,
choice.
this one yellow, so this one's the All Might I one. I might wear
Hmm.
Deku or Bakugo in the next episode, but I want to wear this one today.
I like it.
So, and guess what? Not much detail. Just look at this, and then they can guess who's on the back. This is All Might.
I like it. I like the font because it's subtle.
Exactly. Listen, lately with my shirts, my mom's trying to get me to do more colors. I just need to honor her wishes and try to keep it light too. I'm trying to keep the subtle appearance. Like, have you not learned anything from watching Black Panther? It's tempting, but the key is to not be noticed.
You got it. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I
Rest
don't
in
know how
peace,
well I'm
chat.
doing at that.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I still
Oh,
collect.
sorry about that.
I've been getting a lot of Black Panther stuff since he passed away.
Yeah, as you should. He was, gosh, I need to watch more movies that he's been in because,
He was in 42. He was in what was that one where he's singing and all that stuff? I forgot what it was, but yeah, he was in the Black Panther. He was in Captain America: Civil War. He's been in a lot of movies.
yeah, I need to pull him up on IMDb and just go down the films he's been in and just watch them all.
Yeah, sure. When you get a chance, go look in there. If you got a computer, look it up.
Heck
There's a
yeah.
lot of films he's been in. He's won lots of awards.
Man, I believe it. Gosh, he was so talented.
Yeah, and like I said, when he had cancer, I understand he just didn't want anybody in his business.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's, so, and I hate cancer. My aunt passed away in 2021. She had cancer too. So
Mm.
it's really a painful thing. Like I'm just every time when I hear the word cancer, it's like I'm so powerless to do anything about it. So that's why
Yeah.
people are they just live their lives to the fullest until it's their time to go.
As they
And
should.
we just lost Tom Kane.
Oh, don't remind me. Oh man. I saw a clip from Pokemon Battle Revolution, and I heard the announcing in the background, and I just had to take like a minute and just sit back and be like, oh my gosh.
I had to process it, and because I was like, because here's the thing: after I finish regular show, I'm about to watch the Powerpuff Girls to watch all those episodes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
you
love
know,
the Powerpuff Girls.
yeah, my dad remembers that show, and I was like, well, shoot, I need to watch some of the stuff he's in because see, this is why I do my best to try to make it out to these conventions and just meet you guys and talk because we don't know when we're leaving this world.
Yeah. And that's why you should always believe in what you're doing and live for yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all you got to answer to.
Yeah, that and then he was also in the Batman Arkham series as Commissioner Gordon for Arkham Asylum. By the way, yes, Kevin Conroy passed away in 2022, and he passed away after I completed Arkham Knight.
Man.
I was playing Arkham Knight in my college dorm.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up the next morning, he's gone.
Man.
And I was like, Commissioner Gordon, why did you say this is how the Batman died? I wake up and then Kevin Conroy's gone.
That's got to be weird for you.
I was like,
Man.
is it a curse or something? Like, what did I do wrong?
Right. Like, you know what? Maybe I need to stop playing these games. Hold on.
So yeah, we've been losing a lot of great legends,
Oh,
lately.
yeah.
Kevin Conroy, Tom Kane, Akira Toriyama. Like I've been getting a lot of Dragon Ball stuff. I mean, thing is, I don't play Dokkan anymore because that's a gotcha game that spends a lot of money.
Mm.
But I have been watching the Dragon Ball shows over and over again when he passed away. So because I
Yeah.
was watching some other animes, but I decided to take a break
Mm.
and honor Akira Toriyama by watching Dragon Ball Z Kai and Dragon Ball Super. So sometimes when those
Absolutely.
happens, I have to put the pause on what I'm watching right now and
Mm-hmm.
watch the other shows in memory of them.
Yeah. Honor them. Yeah. I like that.
So, I don't know if you do the same thing too, because I don't want to interrupt your watch list.
No, you're good. It depends. It depends. If they've had a huge impact on me, absolutely, I'll do the same thing.
Yeah, and lately I've been playing the Arkham trilogy over and over again since Cameron Conroy passed away. Like I
Oh.
won't stop playing the Arkham trilogy. I will never stop playing Arkham trilogy because it's really one of the best games out there.
Oh, yeah.
Like shoot, I got a whole Batman pop figure collection over there, which is the Arkham
Oh,
trilogy.
yeah. I can
Because
see
when
a little
they,
bit of it.
yeah, because I got this one Arkham Asylum. I got that because my auntie gave me a gift card for Christmas. So I managed to get
Ooh.
that back in and when we were just from 2024 into 2025. So
Yeah.
GameStop, so I ordered off of GameStop and I got the Arkham Asylum Batman. And then I got Arkham City Batman last fall. And
Mm-hmm.
when Funko announced the Arkham Knight Batman with the bat symbol and the light, I was like, my collection is not complete.
Like, dang it! Now I gotta get another one.
But yes, all those three pops I got complete the Arkham Trilogy collection.
Man, I like it.
So yes, hey, listen, I'm a collector. I'm a huge fan of Batman. I had to get these guys.
I respect it. It's a great
So,
IP to collect.
so sorry if I was diverting the attention from you, but we just got
That's
into it a
okay.
little bit. But yes, all those voices, it's you just got like you said, just I'll just do one voice. I don't have to change anything.
Right.
Like here's the thing. I also learned this. These voices also make you who you guys are.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The voices I do on an everyday basis just if you ask any of my friends, I make some random noises throughout the day, and I will absolutely go through like vocal tics I have for the day. It'll be from like SpongeBob or like a funny TikTok I saw that day. And so many times through repeating those phrases or noises or something like that, I'll discover a new like character in my head. Like, ooh, I can flesh this out. And then next thing you know, I'll find a reason to bring that into an audition and then a character, and next thing you know, it's set on itself, and that's so cool to me. I love that.
Sweet. Well, shoot. Okay, okay. Well, hey, stick with the one voice that works for you. All right.
Exactly. I'm the first person to say I love doing all the kinds of different voices, but I think if you focus on your voice first, then the rest will grow too.
There you go. Yeah, just have one very good one. The rest will come later.
That's right.
So, well, we're out of that section now. Now we're in industry, anime, and representation. Man, I'm just
Okay.
throwing in a lot of representation questions
I
lately.
like it. I like it. Happy Pride
So
Month.
there you go. So we got another two-part question. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Now, how have you seen the anime and voice acting industry change in terms of representation and inclusivity? Part two. Do you think there's more space now for diverse voices and identities in this industry than before?
Yeah, to answer question one, I think in the very short amount of time I've been a part of the industry, even then I've seen so much growth in equity for casting, and seeing characters genuinely portrayed by character or by people who can connect with those characters authentically, and it feeds into itself. I can't say it enough. I think, or rather, I know that if you have those lived experiences, the same lived experiences as characters that you're voicing, it feeds so well into a good grounded performance. And seeing that have so many more opportunities, especially recently, there's just so many series based on black characters or Asian characters or just communities that don't get enough recognition as it is or haven't historically. I think it's, going into an answer for question two, it's been such a huge difference compared to, even the early 2000s or even just the late 2010s. I know a lot of people like to say that the voice acting industry was hurt by people who said that it should be black actors voicing black characters or Asian actors voicing Asian characters instead of anybody who's talented. I think that it shouldn't be. I think it should be people who can genuinely connect to those experiences. I think, and I believe that very strongly. I think, and I think that it's obvious that through I don't know. I think I'm trying to find words.
Take your time. Take your time, man.
Yeah, I truly believe that you can see the stories that have been told recently versus the stories that have been told historically in the past like 15, 20 years. You can see how much more real they seem when you consume that media, because they have the connection of, in the example of minorities voicing minorities, or underserved communities voicing the same underserved communities. It's so clear that the talent has always been there. I think that maybe people just haven't been wanting to look for that talent. And I think that there are more opportunities, yes, but I think that the pressure from what people want, because people want that genuine connection and they want authenticity in characters and stories that they're consuming, in the eyes of a consumer, they want that genuineness and the bona fide connection. So I think it's motivating, corporations and companies to open up more opportunities, to create more opportunities, and fill in the existing opportunities that have always been around with the genuine representation that has had that opportunity for forever. I can't remember his name. I think it was Apu in The Simpsons, and how he was replaced with someone who can genuinely represent his identity. And I'm not a huge fan of The Simpsons myself, I'm sorry, but those in my life who do enjoy The Simpsons, I heard they were raving about it immediately, that it was much, much funnier. And so I think that just goes to show further that having the genuine connection and the representation, proper representation, feeds so well into what a good character is and what it looks like. And I think that recently, absolutely, there's been more opportunities.
Yeah. And this goes without saying, like, oh, and I think, with directors, there's like, Sean Gann and Caitlin Glass, and from understanding you guys' perspective, if the person can do the job, let them do the job. It's not if they're not, oh, we don't need a specific race for this character. It's if they can do the job and voice the character correctly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it should be about. Because now you got all these people coming in from different countries who now have access to do the stuff that us as Americans can. And
Yeah.
because like I said before, some of those countries don't have all those studios and have all those kind of opportunities. So they have to
Yeah.
come here and start doing the work. And it basically does sound like shoot. Like, for example, like if Zeno Robinson can voice Hawks in My Hero, let him voice Hawks in My Hero. If
Yeah.
AJ can voice, if AJ Beckles can voice Okran and Dandada, let him voice Dan, and they're doing a great job. Shoot, my hero just ended, and they did an amazing job with that show. I didn't care what color the characters were in that show. Like it was
Yeah.
a it was a perfect type of tapestry to be put together. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just going to say I strongly believe in, like I said earlier, punching up versus punching down. And I think, yeah, I think that's just the basis of serving a community rather than harming a community.
Hmm.
Is punching up, in casting equitably. And I haven't had the privilege of working with Caitlin Glass just yet, but um, I have heard from close friends who have that she believes the same that Sean does, and that's why I admire their work so much and the work of the voices that they hire and bring on, because I know that they truly do have that passion to bringing representation through and giving opportunities to communities that haven't had those opportunities historically. And um, yeah, I don't think it's quite at the level of like anybody can do anything, because I think we're not doing it in a vacuum. We're not voice acting in a vacuum. I think um, it's worth mentioning that there is a negative history behind white people taking roles of black characters and Asian characters and characters of underserved communities. And I think that it's up to those who are in charge of casting and in charge of directing to take that mantle up and fix the problem.
Yeah, and this goes the same thing too. That's why you have like all these toxic fandoms. It's the fandom stuff is starting to get out of control, really. Because after what they
Yeah.
did with Dachiakta, they kept attacking KU Ronda. Like from what Brandon told me, she literally had to delete her X account because fans will not keep opinions to themselves.
Wow. I'm not familiar with that situation. I need to look that up. I need to look
mean,
into it more.
yeah, she deleted, and then guess what? I was like, it hasn't even been the weekend's not even over, and they just started attacking KU Ronda over Gotchi Yagata. And this was after it
Wow.
won 3 awards at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I need to look into that more because I'm not familiar with that at all.
Yeah, it's that's why I keep telling people, like keep doing what you love, peace and love over hatred, always, of course.
Absolutely,
There's always
100%.
going to be these idiots in the comment sections, and I was because his other thing too is like when they kept attacking Ariel, Captain Halle Bailey for being Ariel in Little Mermaid, and then they had went after the actress who does Vivi in One Piece live action. They all lost their goddamn minds.
Yeah, I never understood that either. I think I saw a lot of, specifically in the case of Halle Bailey in The Little Mermaid. I personally loved her portrayal of Ariel because, like, I say that because I went into TikTok comment sections of the trailers for the movie, and I would see white ginger people like myself, like saying, "Oh, they're taking roles from what should be what a white ginger should have had." I'm like, "What? Okay, but black people can have red hair too. There are black ginger people too. So I don't understand what that was, and it's not like we have been persecuted in that kind of way. So I don't know. I didn't really ever have a problem with it. I loved it. I went and saw the movie, and I was obsessed with her as Ariel. I
Exactly.
I
And the
felt
other
like I
thing
felt
that
like
really disgusts me is that I saw on X that one of these idiots did an AI generated version of her as a white woman.
oh my gosh, and
So,
that's that's a whole can of worms in itself. Like
mm,
man, AI
and
obviously in itself is a multi-headed hydra we got to take care of. But
mm. Other thing, and the other thing I also saw on the iTunes review when I was trying to see if the movie was available,
mhm,
looked at the comment section and one dude, I'm sorry, I'm just upset right now.
you're good.
One
You're good.
dude posted, "Monkeys don't belong in the ocean," and I was
Oh,
like, "Bro, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. Like, go
right.
watch the original one if you don't like it so much." Then,
Yeah, that's my big thing is so many people, the first reaction to, and this goes not just for the color of people's skin, but for their identities as well, because there's so many superheroes who have had new portrayals and they have the lived experience of being gay or being bisexual or uh, pansexual, non-binary, whatever, and people the first thing I'll see that people say is well, you guys should just make your own superhero. I was like, well, why can't they just have that lived experience? I don't understand. I don't know. I never understood that. It seemed like a cheap way to look at it. I think that it only deepens the potential connection that people can have with that character. I don't know. I don't see it as taking away a character from me, for example. I didn't when I looked at Halle Bailey in The Little Mermaid as Ariel. I didn't see something's being taken away from me. Representation is being taken away from me. I saw, I immediately thought of little girls who will see themselves who will see themselves in her, and I don't know. That just brought me a sense of joy. And I don't know if that's more of like a personal ethics thing or how it just should be, but I don't know. I saw joy in that rather than negativity, and it seems like that's what festers a lot in online communities, specifically in the comment sections. And um, I'm not one to like bash certain fandoms or anything, but I think that where I don't know, I think we need to refocus as like a community on the joys of consuming this entertainment because that's what it's for is it's for entertainment. And if you're not finding the joy in it and you're sitting in comment sections yapping, saying racist things and just being a vile person, are you really enjoying your life? I don't know. It never made sense to me.
yeah, lately I saw something with the post with the Griot. They're like a black news network. I've been following them for a
Mhm.
while because I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on. Because
Sure.
most media outlets are doing that because the way everything's going on in our country right now.
Yeah.
I won't get into that, but
Yeah.
independent media is becoming more important now.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
they were talking about how some of these movie actors, not just Halle Berry, but also Anthony Mackie spoke out. And this was during when they did Captain America Brave New World last
Oh
year.
yeah.
And was saying, like, I think the reason why it got so much of a downring because Chris Evans wasn't Captain America this time.
Hmm.
But I've been telling people, and like I said, because I got Avengers Endgame right there.
Yeah.
Like I've been saying, he gave Sam Wilson his shield for a reason.
Hmm.
He gave it to him for a reason, and when they did Falcon and Winter Soldier, they had, Wyatt Russell, as what was his first name? I don't know what his name. John Walker. John
Hmm.
Walker. They had him as Captain America first. But then after, he got crazy with the super soldier son, then he killed somebody, Sam Wilson started to understand to really honor Eve Rogers' legacy and continuation and to continue the fight is to accept being Captain America. And they
That's
made him
right.
Captain America at the end of that season, at the end of that series. I was like, shit, I need to go watch it again. I really liked it. And then we get to Captain America: Brave New World. Like they put him through the ringer to see if he's worthy of being Captain America, as they
Yeah.
should. I mean, we got to prove ourselves, right? So,
Exactly.
I get in all honesty, I actually enjoy Captain America: Brave New World. Cause shoot,
Mhm.
like they was just so focused that, it's only a white person with blue eyes could be Captain America,
Yeah.
but that's not really the whole point about it. Like, listen, using, and this is the same thing what the producer of The Little Mermaid said, using the same character over and over and over again is not how we move forward.
Exactly. And it was never Captain America was never ever portrayed as being he was never Captain America because of what he looked like. He was Captain America because of what he went through and what he will do. That's what I saw. And I think it was the same way for Ariel from The Little Mermaid. She was never Ariel because she was white. That was never, part of her like personality and part of her character and who she was. It was just something that was there because it was a I can't find the word. It was a summation of the times when the story was written, and I think, um, yeah, I think that's what's most important with representation right now is that everything is reflecting the times that we live in, and right now we live in a much more unified world, and so I think that the stories that we are telling should reflect that. And if people are afraid of a black Captain America, then it's like, really, what are you doing? It's if the writer made that decision, then that's the decision you have to respect. Like, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But everybody else is going to watch it and enjoy it.
Hmm. Shoot, I actually have a pop figure of Auntie Maggie's Captain One in my room, so I'm keeping it.
That's right.
So him and Falcon and Winter Soldier and as the Captain America Brave New World from the movie.
Oh,
Well,
heck yeah.
shoot, I might even watch it again this weekend when I get a chance.
Yeah, see, it'll be a fun little thing.
It's exactly. But yes, the representation in the industry with the voice of anime is the more work that you guys are putting in and telling these stories because now we have all kinds of shoot, like, because now LGBTQ members are getting more spotlights and more of that taste now. Shoot, Abigail Blythe, I'm about to talk to her coming up soon, and she's coming to my state for Anime Week in Atlanta, Georgia. So we got to have more people showcasing all the work you guys are doing because you
Absolutely.
guys you guys have the ability. Nobody's telling you that you can't do this thing. This it's just some idiots on the trolls on the
Oh yeah.
internet that they always got something f up to say.
People
So
that don't feel heard in real life, so they have to go into the comment sections of where they lurk and share their opinion there, hoping that they'll catch somebody. Like they're just some guy on the side of the road with a fishing pole and a dollar bill, waiting for somebody to take it. That's all they are. And while
they
we're on the topic, Abigail Blythe is insanely talented. So I'm so excited for you to meet her.
I hope so too, because I've been trying to see if I could talk to her and get her attention, but we finally managed to get her on board. But yes, I'm excited to talk to her. But yes, they was doing the keyboard wars. I was like, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Here we go with the keyboard wars again.
Always. But you just gotta,
But
I don't know, I'm a chronic optimist, so I always believe in looking at the positive.
there you go. Last question, and then we'll be in character deep dive. So hope we're going fine so far.
Yeah.
So what kinds of stories or roles would you like to see more of in the future?
Oh gosh, I would love to see more bisexual stories. I would love to see more stories exploring gender identity, not just through the lens of having to choose or having to figure out that you're either a man or a woman or either or, but rather just exploring the middle between, and I think because I identify so much with that being non-binary, and I don't know, I think that it would serve so well and connect with so many people, more people than I think you would expect. And I think the reason I mention bisexual stories is because I've got so many friends that are bisexual, and they are constantly talking about how they are so underrepresented in media, and I can't help but agree. Same thing with lesbian stories, happy lesbian stories. because same thing with gay stories. It's just there's so many stories where it's got such a sad ending, and I'm tired of there being this thought in my head every time I go to consume like a book, a queer book series about being gay or lesbian or anything, and it's just like I'm expecting someone to die, or I'm expecting someone to lose a loved one. It's always such a negative ending, I feel like, and having the happy endings in these stories will inspire people to know that they have the potential for happy endings in real life. And I think that's super, super important, especially with the current climate, because we need to show young people that don't know who they are yet that it's okay to do and be whoever you are on the inside and reflect that on the outside. I think, that's all I can really think of at the moment. I think that these stories having negative connotations or sad endings really hurt us in the end because there's so many of them. And while I'm at it, black gay stories, black lesbian stories, black
Yeah.
bisexual stories, same thing with Asian diaspora LGBTQ stories. There's never enough because we have such a history of whitewashing everything, male
Hmm.
washing everything. And I don't know, I think it's time for just everybody to spread out, spread them, throw a wide net, because I think that they'll connect with many more people than they think they will.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to see more stories like that, just like we want, because because lately, because I will say this too, we've seen more of those stories going around. We can get in a lot more or black lead stories. I mean, watching a lot of the Netflix and story, on also on Disney Plus too. There's a lot of black stories as well. Just like we
Yeah.
just want to have. Just like we want y'all to check out our, culture as well. We want to check out your culture as well. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I was like, when June was coming up, I was like, maybe I need to bring some LGBTQ people and understand their backgrounds and stuff. Like, shoot, I just interviewed a drag queen the other day, and
Wow.
yeah, she's very sweet. She actually lives in Texas, where you guys are right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Her name is Bad Kid. Her name is Bad Kid Faye, and she has three lovely cats.
Oh, I love cats so much.
You got a cat?
Yes, I have a cat. Her name is Paris. I think she's like a part Maine Coon, part Ragdoll. She's so pretty. I love her to death. She's sassy,
Yeah,
but I don't
yeah.
know. She's
She
got a
told
heart
me.
in there somewhere.
Yeah, she told me when she feels in her purest form when performing, she likes dressing up as a cat for performing for drag shows.
Oh, I love that. I gotta look
Hmm.
that up.
Yeah, trust me, it's available now. You'll be able to see it. But yeah, yeah, her real name is Victoria Moasner. She is very sweet, and she said I've been a good host so far.
You are a
So
great host,
like I said, I just wake up and just try my best when I get online.
and that's all you can do.
So, but yeah, and then I just interviewed a cosplayer yesterday. Yes. So I'm just trying to bring in all you guys in so I can just like listen, like, when I first heard about LGBTQ back when I was in college in 22, I didn't understand it at first, but now I'm having a chance to sit down so
Right.
you guys can, educate me on it as well.
Absolutely, and that's admirable in itself. Knowing that you have room to grow and room to learn, I think that's worth so much.
Exactly. So I say, hey, well, shoot, we need more stories like that for these next few years to come. So make it
That's
happen,
right.
okay?
And thank you for holding space for us to be able to talk about ourselves. That's awesome. Thank you.
It, Listen, I want to make sure everybody's welcome here. You guys are safe with me.
100%. Thank you.
So, now we're in character deep dives. So this is gonna be a long section, but the thing is, I compiled it up. This one's about case closed Detective Conan,
Okay.
sentenced to be a hero, and Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider.
Okay.
Now, and sentenced to be a hero, this is gonna be a three-part question, okay? But
Okay.
let's start with case closed Detective Conan first, okay?
Hmm.
So, in Case Closed Detective Conan, how do you bring a life to smaller or supporting roles in such a long-running series? Part two, what's the challenge of stepping into an established world where the tone is already so defined?
Oh gosh, these are great questions. I when I learned that I was going to do or voice in Detective Conan, I knew there was a huge weight on my shoulders. I was like, oh my gosh, this show's been going on for forever, and not only that, but uh, fortunately, I say fortunately because they're big shoes to fill already, but the Funimation dub alone only went so far, but it established so many voices, so many characters being a certain way, and so it was a little bit of weight off my shoulders knowing that the episodes I would be voicing in weren't reached in the Funimation dub. So, it was already big shoes to fill. I didn't need that on top of it. But man, it was so fun. It was technically the first anime I ever recorded for. Um, but knowing, and it didn't matter to me that it was like a small character or a background character. It was just it was all the same to me. I was like, oh, I can't wait to portray this character, and I got to connect with what I know of anime. I don't watch a whole lot of newer anime, and I'm going to, but I remember watching, waking up and hearing my older brother watching, old '90s anime. I say old '90s anime,
No, no, no,
and
nothing wrong with
so
the old stuff now. Nothing wrong with the old stuff, okay?
yeah, and seeing the series that's so storied and was from the '90s. I got to connect with what I always imagined voicing in anime would be like when I was a kid, and that was really fun for me because it's a lot less grounded. I think right now we're still in the swing of things being super grounded and very conversational, and back then it was, all hell's breaking loose always, all the time. People are yelling, screaming, fighting, hooping, hollering, and I was just so excited to do that with specifically with the villain in episodes 13 or 14, I think, of season 2,
Okay.
of the episodes that they released. He was just, I knew I could be larger than life, and I was so ready to apply that to him, and to the point where I actually blew out my voice when I was recording for him, because I had to yell and I did not do it safely. Don't do that. And gosh, but it was so much fun. And even with the detective, with um, the short amount of lines that I did for him, I just knew what a dream it was for me when I was little, and that little Alex was in there doing these voices for these characters. It was very fulfilling for me. So I don't know. It was just so fun to be able to apply the what I always thought anime would be like when I was growing up to these characters, knowing that this anime is from the same time period.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. And listen, I will say this, like, and this goes without saying, I like how you mentioned the 90s East stuff, because I like the 90s shows because, I grew up with Batman the Animated Series from the 90s, of
Oh
course.
yeah.
I mean, I was born in 2000, but I always watch reruns.
Can't
But
mean doesn't mean you can't be cultured.
exactly. But here's what I also learned, I've been doing a lot of research on some of those old anime shows like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. When I was
Oh yeah.
looking at Dragon Ball Z, I was looking at the technology they had in the show, such as Council Corporation and Frieza's army.
Hmm.
All that stuff I'm just looking at, that's like, shoot, years into the future of what we're having right now.
Oh yeah.
And, because when I heard like stuff like when Krillin was saying like, I don't know about this going on, but their civilization must be decades ahead about what we have on Earth.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes you miss out on like important clues in there, and it's like, well, shoot, they may be 90s anime, but they make the 90s animes look so futuristic for some reason. Same
Yeah,
thing what
and
they
they've
did
got
with,
like
Ghost in the Shell as well.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And they've got like this certain like graininess to them. I don't know, it's so charming to me. I love watching 90s anime.
Yeah. And some of those songs you be listening, some of those like anime songs you be listening in the 90s, it makes it feel like it's more futuristic as well.
Yeah.
And like stuff like Mega Man when they did the old Mega Man video games back then. And then what else did they do? I'm trying to remember. There was another one in my head that what was the other thing? Ghost in the Shell. Then it was like, oh, another thing too, I will say this. You remember the Marvel Cinematic Universe when they did Iron Man and Iron Man 2.
Oh
Iron
yeah.
Man 2 showed like what exactly how the graphics and AI stuff looks like in the future as well. With Tony Stark, just building, just like expanding like all the technology and stuff, like frames or projections, and he's
Uh-huh.
controlling them. Same thing like that too. You see stuff and that stuff is like, shoot, like this is like Iron Man is showing us what the future looks like.
Yeah. And I love that artistic expression of what people think the future is, because I love when it lines up, and I love when it doesn't too, because I don't know, it shows what the hopes are of the art. Like what it'll ideally what it'll look like in the future, and then some things come true and some things are outlandish and never come true, like flying cars, hoverboards in Back to the Future, and now we 2025 or 2024, I can't remember what it was, but you look back and now that it's passed, it's like, well, we're not quite there yet, but it's still cool to look at.
Yeah. And shoot, like the technology's evolving so fast. Like, shoot, like when they finished My Hero Academia and, I was telling them, as the heroes and quirks evolve too, so do gadgets and technology. So,
Yeah.
like, shoot, when they did that episode called Battle Without a Quirk, he had his armored All Might suit on. So I was like, the fact that he went from Superman to Batman throughout the show. Like I like that because sometimes powers aren't everything. Like even like the Corvus people, like you have smart people out there who can build armored suits like that, so
Oh
they can
yeah.
so they can jump into the fray as well. And
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
when Deku became Corvus again, All Might gave him his own armored suit. Shoot, the technology is amazing. So you get to
Man.
have that sort of like ideas like, oh shoot, like futuristic stuff, like technology, you can do a lot with it. There's like new products coming out every day.
Oh yeah.
So sorry, I'm just geeking out over the
No, you're
gadgets.
good. You're good.
So, but yeah, with Detective Conan, all that stuff, because it's like, shoot, that thing's been around for a long time, and now you're gonna
Oh
be a
yeah.
part of something that huge.
I'm so thankful that I had that privilege. I think um I think doing anime was so cool to me and is so cool to me already, but being a part of a series, any series that is that storied and that historic is so cool to me. It blows my mind still to be able to say that I did that. And I don't know, I love hearing that people that watched subtitled Detective Conan growing up because there was an English dub are now finding out that there's a new English dub and they're going back and watching it again. I think that's so cool because that means I get to be a part of those memories in whatever part. I just love that.
Exactly, man. Well, shoot, we'll keep doing that. Thing is, I'm adding that to my watch list this summer as well. I'm adding a lot of stuff to my watch list this summer.
Oh yeah. Oh man, good luck. There's like over 1,400 episodes or something like that.
Oh, don't
The
say
lore goes deep.
that.
Yeah.
And I
Just
thought
with the
one,
English dub.
and I thought One Piece was bad.
Oh man, I know. I gotta watch that too. Oh
Mm. Well,
man.
speaking of One Piece, Colleen Clickenbeard is going to be in Florida this at the end of this month, so
Oh yeah.
I'm going to another convention, but that line's going to be long.
Man, well, I hope it's fun for you.
But I, I still want to go and have fun though. I don't want to talk, but I still need to have fun though.
Oh yeah.
Um, Now it's the three-part question for a
Okay.
sentence to be a hero. In sentence to be a hero, how do you approach additional voices and make each one feel different? Part two. Do you ever build backstories in your head for smaller or one-off characters? And part three, in a fantasy-heavy project, how do you keep energy and consistency when voicing multiple roles in one session?
Oh man. The Can you repeat the first question? Sorry, I'm like
It's
already
yeah,
thinking of all the answers.
it's good. In sentence to be a hero, how do you approach additional voices and make each one feel different?
Oh, I think physicality. Physicality is everything to me. I think um, there's some characters where it's easier to the character is more chill and I don't have to move around as much. Additional voices for a show like Sentence to Be a Hero was so fun because all of us are out here like pretending we got bows and arrows, and or we're out here pretending we're shooting the enemy or we're getting shot by the enemy. It was just so much fun because the more you're physically replicating what they're doing in the shot, the more you can connect to, again, connecting and making that authentic. And that's exactly how I navigate that, is physicality.
Physicality. And yes, and listen, I guarantee you, voicing all those additional voices is not an easy job.
It's not easy, but it's a blast.
Easy, but it's fun,
Exactly.
Like it's only hard if you make it hard.
Oh yeah, I
And
agree.
so, listen, what's the old saying? Hey, choose a job that you love, and you never have to work a single day in your life.
Oh yeah, I definitely believe that.
Mhm. So yeah, it seems like you're enjoying the addition of voices, so it's working
Oh,
out
I
pretty
love it.
good.
That's one of the reasons
So
I took improv. Is additional voices is so much fun now that I've taken improv, because I'm never caught off guard. I can always just throw out whatever I need to throw out.
there you go. Onto sorry, I'm losing my thought
That's okay.
process. Now to the next part of this three-part question. Do you ever full backstories in your head for those smaller or one-off characters?
Yes, all the time. I love thinking of, like, oh, I just died. I had a whole family. I'm like, that's crazy. What are the effects going to be on my family? They're going to learn that I passed away in battle. That's crazy. Or I'll be somebody like talking to a medic or something like that, and I'll be like, dang, how long have I been a medic? I'll say I've been a medic for like 20 years, or maybe I just started a couple days ago, and this is the biggest fight I've ever seen, and I'm overwhelmed. I don't know. I love making up arbitrary things like that for characters, because to me it breathes so much life into what I'm doing. It's so exciting to do.
Yeah, because listen, like I said before, every one of these characters you gotta do research, and this goes back to what I'm saying, like deadlines and stuff. But every character that you do, you gotta know their backstories and know exactly how you're gonna fit all these additional characters that I'm doing. Trick, maybe you have to drop it down in notes, like put notes in your phone or something. That
Oh
way you'll
yeah,
have it ready for when you get ready to start shooting.
exactly. And even when you go in for recording at Crunchyroll specifically, you don't always get the backstory. You don't always know
Mhm.
what the setting is going to be exactly, or how you got to the point where you're at. But I love filling in those blanks in my head, and that just goes back into, I love making up things in people's backstories of, especially for additional voices, because then you just get to go crazy, and I love that.
There you go. There you go. Hey, listen, that's what I say. Hey, just go crazy. See, now remember what Damon Bear said. I don't know if you heard the Gears of War series or anything, but yeah, he was saying stuff like, okay, so what swarm can we use it on? Well, our test data is limited, but you know what? Go crazy out there. See what happens.
Yeah, go crazy out there and see what happens. I like that.
Exactly. That's what I'd be telling people. Because when I told that person, oh, that drag queen, when she was doing it, I say, go crazy with your outfits. I tell my guests to go crazy.
I love that.
So just to make it more livelier that way.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. So yeah. So I don't want to give y'all restrictions. That's not me.
And a good director knows how to get you where you need to be without restricting what you can do.
It exactly. And then the last part of the three-part question, in a fantasy heavy project, how do you keep energy and consistency? Wait, did I say that question already? Yeah, I did. Wait. No, I didn't say this question. Okay, good. I'm just keeping track. Okay. In a fantasy heavy project, how do you keep energy and consistency when voicing multiple roles in one session?
Oh gosh, I think we do get breaks. If they're extended sessions, I will say we do get breaks. But what I find is helpful is, especially with additional voices, is you're usually surrounded by your peers. We usually get called in groups of 3 or 4, and when we're in those rooms of the 4 of us and we're all soldiers, I think it's fun to scream, yell, hoop and holler, whatever. But I also think it's fun to let other people take, the lead on the loud efforts, and because it's more realistic if some of you are more. Some of you are further back in the combat. You know, you're waiting. You're not yelling across the battlefield always. Not everybody's doing the loud efforts when you're watching the scene. So I think it's more important for you to take a break when you need to if you're seeing that you're getting winded in these scenes or voicing these scenes. And I don't think it costs anything from the scene either, because I think that it just goes to connect the scene and what you're doing more to the setting. Because when you're taking a break, staying cognizant of your personal limits, not only just with your voice but with your energy levels. Yeah, I think any good additional voices group you're in, everybody will be fluctuating constantly, and so just read the room and take the opportunities that you can to also fluctuate your energy, because that just makes it more real. Not everybody's constantly yelling or constantly fighting. Some people are in the back healing up. Some people are in the front and they're dead.
Mhm. Yeah. And I know it always a lot to take in because for a person voicing multiple characters, it's it's gotta be exhausting. I know I sound like a broken record. It is exhausting. It
It
doesn't.
is
It never.
exhausting.
It never gets easier. It gets easier once you get used to it.
Yeah.
But but at least they know that shoot, if we're gonna be here for like the next 5 hours, we need to make sure we get a break in between. Shoot,
Oh yeah.
take a bathroom break or something, but
Yeah.
don't drain them to the point of exhaustion. And then it's like
Exactly.
we're just tired. One thing I will say, just make sure you get enough rest if you know it's going to be a long day tomorrow.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's that's
Stay
number one.
hydrated.
And stay hydrated too. Get enough sleep, hydrate, make sure you eat, get something good to eat, and then everything will go as planned.
Absolutely, because I had to. We were screaming and yelling almost the entire session for "Send Us to Be a Hero." I believe that was episode 1, and we had to stop. We were booked, I believe, for 2 hours, and we had to stop halfway through. It was about at the 1 hour mark, and Sean told us, "Okay, go take a break." And that was my first additional voices session, so I'm kind of watching what everybody else is doing, and I went a beeline to the cafe into the tea machine, because I was about to. The hot tea saved my throat. So just don't push yourself too hard, but also know that these issues are. You're not facing these issues for the first time. You're not the only one facing these issues for the first time. Other people have faced them, and so I was asking the other people in my session, like, hey, what should I do? My throat is feeling a little bit scratchy, and they're like, oh, do this, drink this, drink that. I'm like, okay, and I did. It helped so much. So just don't be afraid to ask questions and go
Exactly.
ham.
That, and you also got to find common ground with the director as well. Make sure
Oh
y'all
yeah.
trust each other. Like shoot, have a nice discussion after the session is done. Like just talk.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Be grateful. Be genuinely grateful for the opportunities you get and what you get to do. I hear, I say horror stories. I hear stories of people overstaying their welcome or getting greedy with what they're asking of the directors, and it's like they're there to help you. They're humans, and if you treat them like that, you'll get so far. And I think that has served me a lot in my own career, is just remembering everybody's a person like you. Everybody's got to go home and deal with their home stuff. Everybody's got to come to work, deal with the work stuff. And I don't know, read the room. That's a big piece of advice I can absolutely stand by, is read the room.
Yes, definitely read the room. Now we're in the last S part for Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider.
Gotcha.
Now, for Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, what was your first reaction to joining something tied to that universe? Part two, how do you approach the tone of your role there? Grounded, stylized, or somewhere in between?
Oh gosh, for the first question, I lost it. That was my first ever thing I got called in for at Crunchyroll, and this anime wasn't my dream, but it was a huge stepping stone for me, and it continues to be. And so I had poured so much time into educating myself on voicing in anime and stuff like that, and I still do, but it's something about feeling like it's finally paid off. And when I got that email getting called in, one of the coolest moments of my life for sure, because it just felt like such a success for me, and it was such a success for me. I credit it a lot for a lot of things, and yeah, I think to go into the second question, I don't know. I saw the preview when I went into the booth to read for it, and Jason Lord was our director for that. And I had done classes with him prior, so I was familiar with his directing style, so it was very easy for me to jump in. And so I knew I was able to ask questions, and so I asked him. I was like, "What's the story? What's the backstory of this?" He gave me just a very SparkNotes version of the story, but out of that, I got, okay, this is going to need a grounded voice, and so that's what I did. I kept it very, I gave it character, but I kept it very baseline, as compared to what I did for Detective Conan, which was '90s caricature.
Very interesting stuff. Oof, shoot, now you made me want to go check out the show now.
You should. I'm in episodes 6 and 7.
Okay, well, shoot. Okay, man, now I got another show to add to the watch list. So,
That's right.
shoot. Looks like my whole summer's gonna be filled with watching shows this summer too. So I
Get
still
those
got
too.
I still got places to travel too, but I'm making it work. I'll make it work. But yes, yes. So yeah, when people get stuff like that, they want to like I said, make sure you ask questions. This is something I also tell people. Ask questions first. Make sure you know what you're getting into before you sign off on something.
Yeah, ask questions because the directors are there to help you. Because if they didn't help you, it wouldn't sound good. And that reflects not only on you, but on them. And so, and the second thing, one of my career mentors is Deborah Wilson, and she
Oh,
always
Deborah Wilson.
tells
She
me
she did
she's
she
an
did
angel.
Amanda Waller.
Oh yeah, she's an angel. But everything she says is always so profound. But one of the main things that stuck with me, one of the many, was don't like nobody's out to get you in your career. Nobody's out to um, destroy your career. Nobody's out to stop you from getting opportunities. And if they are, that's their problem. So I approach every interaction with that when pertaining to directors and interacting with them in the booth, because I always know that if I ask a question, I'm not the first person to have ever asked a question in their booth. If I ask a question and it offends them that I've asked that question, maybe maybe it's not my place to be working with them anyway, because it's like if they don't have your best interest at heart, then what are they really doing for you? And if you are working with someone who is offended by you asking good questions, like, oh, can I, like, another one of the questions that I used to be afraid of asking, it was so daunting to me to think of a situation where I'd have to ask, like, hey, can I see the preview again of where I'll talk? But now I'm like, hey, can I preview that again? And I've even asked a third or fourth time. I'll be like, okay, all right, I just needed to see the lip flaps one more time. And not a single time has a director ever been like, no, or dang, wow, you sure are watching it a lot. Like, no, you can't watch it again. No, they've always been like, yeah, no problem. Press the button. Let me watch it again. So just don't be afraid of the hypotheticals, because it'll only ever hurt you.
Mhm. You can't just think. We all can't just be like, what if? Like we can't
Yeah.
base it on a what if. What if this? But he no 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 no. We can't think like that. We have to just ask the question. That's all. That's all. Because sometimes
That's
I get
right.
nervous to ask my folks questions. It's like, well, what if they get mad at me? And I can't do that because if I don't, it's gonna come back like later.
Mm-hmm.
So. The old saying, I think, I got Mark Hamill in my head now when I was doing Arkham Knight. He was saying, what's wrong? Feeling a little guilty? The longer you put it off, the worse it'll get. And
Exactly.
he's
Same
not
thing goes with
wrong.
questions. If you don't ask questions, the worse it'll get. Because
Hmm.
then you're not knowing, and then you're not knowing, and not knowing, and not knowing. The problem will compound.
Exactly. So yeah, so just listen. Don't hesitate. Ask those questions, whatever you're doing. Well, shoot. Sometimes I ask my mom questions when I'm working at her business. Hey, is this person supposed to be doing? They keep skipping pages. What? She just tell me, nope, just archive all that stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah.
because if you don't ask questions, you don't know. If you don't know, then that's when you'll do worse.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's something I got to work on too as well. So
Yeah.
when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself.
I like it. I like it.
So we all, there's room for improvement. You're good. Let's see if we can do better. So, I think we're at the finale now. So
All right.
let's get this thing done. So closing, reflection, pride, and future. So looking back on your adventure so far, what moments stand out as the most defining for you as a performer?
Oh gosh. I don't know if he remembers this. A shout out if he does. My first ever week of classes for voice acting. I did a class with a director named Mark Allen Jr. He's so talented. Um, Shout out to Mark Allen Jr. And I read for a character in the booth during the class, and he just told me very straightforward, there's no energy in this. You know, you need more energy. And that was, for some reason, that was like a huge reckoning for me. I went home and I sobbed. Like, I was so upset because I was like, what do you mean? I went into this so confident, like, and not that I expected to be perfect, but I expected, it just seemed like such a thing that I thought I wouldn't have an issue with. Like, almost as if he had said anything else that I needed to work on, it would have been okay. But for some reason, that just hit me the right way at the right time. And the next, I think the week after the next, or rather that night, I went home and I told my parents, I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just quit. This is, I didn't have any energy. That's unforgivable. And they told me, they were like, you're gonna live through this and you're gonna push through it and you're going to feel so much better afterwards. And 2 weeks later, I did another set of classes and I went for, we were doing auditions for Anthony Bowling, like mock auditions. Shout out to Anthony Bowling.
Yeah, I spoke to
He,
him earlier this year. He's very great.
oh yeah, he's amazing. And I did a character audition for him, and I let that, not rage, but I let that frustration out of not of thinking of what Mark Allen Jr. said to me, and letting it fuel my. I let it fuel my performance for Anthony, and Anthony, he said that it was outstanding. He said it was really good, and I took that home and I was glowing. And so ever since then, I've always remembered that feeling of wanting to give up, and it really has fed me in almost every performance I've done, because it reminds me of where I am, where I'm going, and where I will go. I don't know. It's just, it was one of the biggest things in my career that I always think of, because had it not been for that, I don't know, it humbled me. Not that I have a big ego, because I don't have a big ego. I'd like to think I don't. But it just, I don't know, it kicked me down just so I could get back up twice as high. And I really appreciate that. And then one other thing that I always think of is, gosh, I found myself in a class with somebody who was insanely talented. Oh my gosh. And I was like, man, they are so good. And the director was just following their hand, like, just basically agreeing with me, saying that they were insanely talented, and because they were. And I was almost frustrated, because I was like, okay, well, I think I'm good too. I wish they'd say something about me. And then we had left that class, and they had been called in, because they had just moved. Whoever this is may know who I'm talking about, but which is not a problem. They're super cool. We're good friends now. But I just kept thinking to myself, I was like, dang, I want to be them. Like, why couldn't it be me? And it was very selfish at the time, but I was very blinded. It was right after that whole energy ordeal, and they got called in the following week. And I was like, dang, everything's going so well for them. Why not me? And I went home and I thought about it. And I finally had to face the fact of, okay, well, it's their time right now. It was his time. And to say, why not me, was so, self-centered, so close-minded, because now I can look back and understand that everybody's on their own path, and to think that everybody can follow, the exact same road to success is so short-sighted.
Mhm.
And I think, and now it helps me so much because I can actually be excited for my friends when they succeed rather than jealous. And I think that was a necessary thing that I had to work through, not just by myself, but through therapy. I did go to therapy. Please go to therapy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I'm like, advice to everybody: go to therapy. It helps so much. But confronting that through my experiences with like that class with the director and that student, really solidified how I think about things now, which is I'm so grateful for my friends' successes, because if they succeed, I succeed. And if I'm happy for them, they're happy for me. And I don't know, it's the a rising tide raises all ships. And that's just the very simple of it.
You know, and something that, Jack Broadbent told me, I think you know who Jack Broadbent is. He's the guy who does the crawler,
Mm-hmm.
My Hero Academia Vigilante. He's a great guy. We're
Oh, yeah.
friends also. We're friends also. He told me one thing, with people, comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh, yeah. 110%. And I didn't know that. Like, I had heard it at the time, but I was like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't apply to me. And in my hubris, I absolutely ran into that problem. And I had to remind myself, whoa, okay, they're right. If I'm not going to be happy for my friends genuinely, then how can I expect that from friends that I make? How can I expect to live a happy life? And now, I could accomplish nothing else from today on, and all I could see is my friends' successes, and I could tell you that I would genuinely be happy. It would be so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you're doing a great job, Alex. I will say that. I've
Well,
seen
thank
some of
you.
the work you've done. So you're in a great spot.
Thank you. I
You
have
know,
so much more to grow, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I be getting messages in my DM saying like I am a good, host interviewer, I just, sometimes I be like I do be pessimistic saying I'm not doing it for recognition or anything. I'm just doing it because I really do enjoy talking to people,
Yeah.
of course.
And that's how you know you're doing what you should be doing, is when you
Hmm.
know that you're not doing it for recognition from others, you're doing it for recognition of yourself, from yourself.
Hmm. I just know that I needed to do something. Like I couldn't just let my degrees just sit down somewhere collecting dust, and I knew I just couldn't sit on my hands and do nothing.
That's right.
I got to do something. Something my granddad used to say, he's been giving me a lot of advice throughout the years. Like he kept saying stuff like, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep. Another one he also said is that, well, I can help you be somebody. I can help you be somebody, but if you want to be nobody, you're on your own.
Ooh, I like that too. I need a lot of pillows because I'm gonna have all these pillows embroidered with these sayings. They're going to be some big pillows too. That's a long saying.
Well, shoot, I'll make sure. Well, shoot, make sure to look up any more inspiring quotes you need. I'll give you some. You need some for those pillows.
That's right. See, you'll watch these interviews and you get some more inspiring quotes.
There you go. There you go. But yes, we're all in. Listen, we're both on the right. We're in the right place. We're just taking our time, also enjoying life to the fullest as well. Let's not forget
That's
that.
right.
So let's just keep doing what we love. Just keep making it happen.
I agree.
So, next up, now during Pride Month, what does it mean to you to be part of a creative space where identity, expression, and storytelling overlap so strongly? Part two. What do you hope audiences take away from the characters and stories you've helped bring to life up to this point?
Oh gosh, can you repeat the first question? These are heavy questions. These are good.
Listen, I come with receipts. If I don't, then I wouldn't be having this discussion with you.
I like it. I like it.
During Pride Month, what
Mhm.
does it mean to you to be part of a creative space where identity, expression, and storytelling overlap so strongly?
I think it means everything. I think, especially during Pride Month, I can recognize that all of these different facets of exploring a character, not just for someone you're becoming, but someone who you already are in real life, is so important because it's who you are in real life. I think voicing a character is fun and all, and it's a great way to explore yourself, but in the end, you have to face who you are, and you can explore all the time, but at the end you have to find out, the permanence, the permanent things of things that are about you, like the traits. That's what I'm trying to say. The traits about you that are solitary, that aren't going anywhere. And I think that exploring that through performance and through consuming media just as much as becoming the media is incredibly important. I think, I don't know, I have a hard time putting it into words. It's much easier to imagine than to say, but in short, I guess it means the world because you're able to explore so many facets about yourself through performance, and through that, you're able to then reflect on yourself. And when you're reflecting on yourself, that's when you can connect more to the characters. It's very, very circular to me. I don't know. I like it.
Well, hey, I like it too. And listen, Pride Month so far, I've been seeing a lot of you guys out there, not just the VAs, but other people who do like, drag shows. They do like all kinds of like artwork and stuff. You guys as are expressing yourselves in every way y'all can, showing those stories and tell people who you are. And this is, so we can get an understanding. You know, all that stuff is great. So
Absolutely.
I want to be able to keep going to things like that. Keep going to like shows, watching shows to done LGBTQ people have done. And that's really because things I still want to learn about it as well.
Right, and acting is the perfect medium to figure out who you are and figure out who you're not.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Acting, whatever it is you're doing. Here's the thing, like, downtown, my hometown, Savannah, like, there's a tattoo shop that has like a lot of LGBTQ people show up for their tattoos.
And it's just the culture of inclusivity and the culture of diverse thought and opinion. I think that is fostered by acting because you are forced to literally put yourself in another person's shoes. And I don't know. I think that's why I always see places that are frequented by queer people as safe, is because I see these people as people who have lived other lives through maybe acting or in their own lives as in general. And so I know that they're more likely to understand what I've been through and what I'm going through than if I were to go somewhere that was more close minded.
Exactly. I like it, man. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
So, um, let's see. And then lastly, let's see. Actually, this is going to be another two-part question. I'm just throwing two-part
That's okay.
questions at y'all. Where do you see yourself growing next in your voice acting career, personally or professionally? Part two, if you could give advice to someone trying to break into voice acting or create a performance, while also figuring out who they are, what would you tell them?
Okay. Oh gosh.
If you want to start with the first one, we can do the first one first.
Yes, please. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My ADHD meds are wearing off, so I'm like,
Okay, okay. Take your time. So,
could you repeat the first question?
guess that's about that. You want me to repeat it?
Okay, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Where do you see yourself growing next in your voice acting career, personally or professionally?
I see myself growing exponentially from where I am now. I think I look out at my future and I don't know what it holds, and that comforts me in a way. I Because the future is so in flux, I'm comforted by the possibility of anything, because even getting to where I am right now is if you asked me 2 years ago if I'd be doing what I'm doing right now and have accomplished, if I would have accomplished what I've accomplished now, I would have told you no. Absolutely not. I wouldn't have thought that. And So it's just goes to show that if I would have thought that's impossible, what's to say that what I could be accomplishing 2 years from now, or what I've accomplished between now and in 2 years, I wouldn't think was impossible now. So I don't know. I think I will grow as much as I put myself into my craft, and I look forward to it.
Well, hey, one day at a time, my friend. One day at a
That's right.
time.
That's right.
So you'll get to where you need to be. The travel. Enjoy the highway now, not the
Oh yeah.
destination. hmm So, and then the other question to wrap this up, if you could give advice to someone trying to break into voice acting or create a performance while also figuring out who they are, what would you tell them?
Don't be afraid to explore. I think a lot of people will put themselves in boxes before they know anything about themselves or the way they act. And such a good way, or rather, I think that finding out who you are is such such a backseat to learning. I think that through learning, you will eventually find things out about yourself, and learning about the craft of voice acting or acting in general, you will inevitably find things out about yourself. And I think that's where true growth lies. Because if you're constantly looking inwards, constantly expecting you to find things out about yourself, I don't think you're going to find it. I think you may find it, but it's not going to be a product of the growth. I think that if you focus on growing yourself, your craft, and what you do, you will inevitably come out on the other side knowing more about yourself. And one of the big pieces of advice that ties into that is take classes. Don't ever stop taking classes. And 100 other people have said it before me, but it's so true, and it bears repeating, that the more you are open to learning, because neuroplasticity is a thing, and your brain will constantly grow as long as you are testing it. And I believe that's the case for acting as well. I think that taking classes for acting, like improv, or like joining a stage troupe, or anything, I think growing mentally will grow your craft. And it may sound obvious, but that's because it's the truth.
Understandable. I like those few points. You made me think of another quote or something. Ratatouille from 2007, where he was lost in the sewers, and I taught this before with Victoria the other day, and it's
Mhm.
saying like, hey, like, yeah, well, you're dead, and all that stuff because he left his family and friends. They got separated. He was focused on trying to find his family, and he was like, so like, Remy was just so focused on what he failed to do and everything. But that's when his imagination with Gusteau was like, but that is no excuse for living. If you focus on what you left behind, you'll never be able to see what lies ahead. So go
That's
up and
right.
look around.
Exactly. Don't worry about what could be happening. Worry about what is happening around you. Worry about where you want to go. Because if you worry about those things, it's not really worrying. It's looking out for yourself, and it's growing.
hmm Exactly. And listen, knowledge is power too. Like learning
Oh,
never
yeah.
stops. Shoot, I should listen. Learning is a never-ending process.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think it ever should be an ending process. I think learning is such a privilege, and to be able to learn is such a cool thing to like to think about. Like 2 years from now, I'm gonna be so much more knowledgeable than I am now, and that encourages me so much to keep going.
Mhm. Yes, all that stuff. And listen, I've been there was another thing too, like I'm getting used to doing these like it's like eating chips right now.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to like it's like I got so used to talking to some people like, and it doesn't faze me as much. And now I get like so many nice comments and saying like he prepared very amazing questions. Stuff like
Yes,
this
absolutely.
stuff like this inspires me to keep going. Sometimes, listen, Alex, I'll be honest. Sometimes I just feel like stopping, but I get comments like that that just tell me that I need like those nice comments that inspire me to keep going because people are saying we need you, man.
That's right, and it's pushing through those doubts that cause you to grow. And I think I absolutely agree with the positive comments. You absolutely presented such cool questions I never could have imagined I would be being asked. It's so cool.
Well, shoot, like I said, I gotta make sure I have receipts. I don't want to have nothing, and I don't. I want to make sure I have something. I don't want to have nothing to show for it.
Absolutely, I enjoy that.
So, well, oh, sorry for the mushy stuff. If
That's more than okay.
I guess that wraps up tonight. I know it's been 2 hours, so I've been keeping track of the time, but it still worked itself out. I managed to make this go smoother with those 2 to 3 part questions.
Yes, I did enjoy those. Those are so cool. I think there were may have been a couple I forgot, but I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to answer the way I did.
Yes, I appreciate it, man.